Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session of What's in Store. I'm Erica Helligman, the Senior Marketing Consultant here at t.tec. How are you?
I'm great, Erica. How are you doing?
Good, thank you so much. Can you tell all of our listeners what Flip is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Flip provides voice automation to retailers. So think of us like an Alexa-like voice bot that sits on your phone channel and can answer all of the tier one and many of the tier two questions and requests that callers are calling your brand about. And if Flip can't answer the request for whatever reason, we pass along the caller to an agent and pass along all the information that we've gathered to an agent as well. So Flip automates as many phone calls as we can. And for the calls we can't automate, we pass them off to the agent. The agent receives as much information as we've gathered, and so it also improves the agent experience.
Can you explain a little bit of the difference? Because I know a lot of the people listening are really frustrated when they answer and there's a voice assistance and you're just yelling agent or return, and they're just not understanding. But can you explain why Flip is so much cooler than your average bot?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a great question, and there's a few reasons for why we're just better. So to give you an idea, the typical players that you see in the space might provide your typical old IVR vendors 5-10% automation at best, 10% when a company's doing really well, 5% if that on average. And Flip regularly with our brands is performing 40% and above. One of the reasons why is we specialize in e-com and retail. That's our bread and butter. That's all we focus on. And we build our product in such a way where we leverage the economies of scale to build the best system for each retailer. So we have a core system, and then it gets configured as needed. The other side of it is also we don't view the path as straight. So somebody might call your brands and they have a question. They don't know if the resolution to their question is a warranty or a return or so forth. They know that the shirt that they just purchased is torn. And a lot of what we're doing under the hood is figuring out, okay, if the shirt is torn, what is that? Is that a return? Is that a warranty request? And so forth. Mapping that to the handling that best can help that caller, taking the caller through all different avenues and different areas that may take them, either resolving the request there and then, or giving all that information then to the agent so the agent can take that caller through the experience that they need.
Do the customers know that they're talking to a bot?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question. They do. And we've experimented with a lot of different ways of structuring the bot. So how using a human voice, using a more robotic voice. And what we found is that if we go superhuman-like, and AI today can make it virtually indistinguishable, that performance is actually worse. And so there's this interesting psychological kind of phenomenon of when we speak with bots, such as Alexa or Siri, we're so trained on how to talk to them in order to get the best engagement that if you make the voice slightly more robotic, although you'd think the CX experience wouldn't be as good, the data actually shows that it provides a far better experience and the engagement is much higher.
And just to confirm, it's still conversational. Like you don't have to scream into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So think of talking to Flip much more like talking to, let's say, Alexa than the tell me what you need after the beep. Oh, did you say cancel? No, I said new order or whatever it may be. So far more conversational. You can talk to us very similarly to how you talk to a human being, and a lot less than the kind of what you might experience when in prior experiences with voice.
And how does this affect CSAT? And if you don't know, if our customers or listeners don't know what CSAT is, it's customer satisfaction.
Yeah. So of the brands that we've run CSAT with, which is a good portion of the brands that we work with, we've actually seen it either be at the same as their human beings are performing, or actually overall increase CSAT. And that's for a few different reasons. Why overall it increases CSAT is missed calls, abandoned calls, calls that are on hold for quite a while. Those are now resolved. So now your agents can speak or can spend time on the calls that need a little bit more help. Are those tier 2 requests, ones that may need a bit more love? And so when you mix together the AI experience and you put that side by side with improving the agent experience and getting the calls to the agents that need the most help, the combination of both improves CSAT overall.
And I guess the next question would be, what if I call you at 12 o'clock at night?
Yeah, so Flip, we have a joke. Flip doesn't take any cigarette breaks. So think of us as an infinite amount of agents that can scale as needed. So during peak season, we'll help you answer more calls. And then during after hours and so forth, we're still available there to answer the call.
Okay, cool. And what if I call you right now and say I want to implement this? Sorry. What is the process? How long does it take? Are we talking weeks?
Yeah, definitely. If you wanted to, if you called us today and let's say jumped on a demo and said, I want it today, I want it right now, we could probably get it implemented the same day. And that's, I know that a lot of companies may promise that. We can just show you. What allows us to do it so quickly is what I mentioned earlier, that the system is essentially built and it's just a bunch of configuration. So we have a system that we know with retailers or e-brands is going to automate 40% plus of all of your calls. And magic is now taking that system and configuring it as needed to meet your brand preferences and your brand processes. So implementing Flip, if you are on what we call a major market OMS, such as Shopify, Salesforce, Magento, we can pretty much out of the box integrate Flip. If you are on an OMS that might be custom built or in-house built, it's just a little more involved, but not much more than any other system you might implement.
Sam, thank you so much. Again, I've seen how this works. I think it's so cool. We are all in on Flip, and I've seen some of the customers that you work with, and I'm putting a demo in the comments so anybody listening can see what you guys do too. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out at t.tec.com and we can get you in touch with Sam directly. And so thank you again for being here. And I know this isn't going to be the last that we see of you.
Absolutely. I hope not. It was great speaking to you, Erica.